And I was like, well, if you want me to, I can show you how I make money. It's actually easy. It's easier than like whatever that crappy job is that you have. And he was like, okay, I'm ready to learn. So we sat down and I showed him. We were talking, we were messing around with like Starbucks stock, and then there was another stock. I forgot what it was. And I just kind of showed him. And after we got done, he got super excited about it. And I was like, yeah, if you're still listening, I can tell you some more stuff that I think will help you, or I can wait until you're like 30 years old and tell you after you've made a bunch of mistakes. And he's like, well, I'd like to know right now. So what I explained to him is I said, one thing you got to know about America and life in general is that the people that make the most money in this country are the people who work the least. It's not that they don't work. They just work differently, right? Wealthy people, it's not that they're all a bunch of lazy bums and sit around and just, drink lattes and champagne all day. They just work differently. They have a different kind of layout. Their financial awareness is just slightly different in the sense that your awareness is driven partly also by your exposure. So so if you're born in a family where you're exposed to the banker, exposed to the real estate portfolio, exposed to the businesses, exposed to the stock market, then you're gonna kind of think about wealth in a different way than somebody who was just exposed to a job, who was like, okay, that's Mr. Charlie over there. Make sure you're nice to him and make sure you fill out 50 job applications, and then somebody will give you some work. Somebody will, and that awareness affects culture. We've talked about this. It affects also the standards that you set for yourself in terms of what you hope to achieve economically. So I talked to a brother the other day. Actually, I think it was the doctoral. No, it was either the doctoral student. I get it mixed up, or another guy, a really great guy named Kyle that I met out of California, and he's a businessman and he's doing really well. He does stuff in cybersecurity and IT, doing extremely well in his business. And we did a one-on-one consultation because he's looking to transition over and make money without having to get up and go to work every day. And he was telling me that one challenge that he has with young people that he talks to is when he's trying to expose them to, for example, all the money that's being made in cybersecurity, which is a growing industry. Lord Jesus, I mean, with AI, cybersecurity is going to be huge, and he'll try to get them started on it. But a lot of them, all they really want is to get some little the guard card. He said they call it, where you can become a security guard. Yeah, so he said about 80% of the black males that he works with. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, but he said 80% of the black males that I try to talk to about economic opportunities, all they want to do is work in a warehouse or become a security guard. And that's because of what they were exposed to. That's a consciousness cultural issue. And so really, if you really want your kids to just kind of to be in a good spot, you got to expose them to things. Maybe expose them to me, bring them to class or something. They can kind of hear different ideas and standards. Like what the standards and expectations are, that really shapes how far you go. I think that a lot of where you go is really shaped by whether you think big or you think small, where you tend to apply your effort and your energy. I know a lot of people, and it's not just about intelligence level or education. I was in academia and I knew some of the smartest people on the freaking planet with, doctorates and straight A students and all this stuff. And I can't tell you how many times I met super smart people who were broke and struggling because they think small. Like, right, like so for example, what they do to us in academia, the way they brainwash us in academia is they train you to put all your intellectual energy into solving some tiny little problem. Like you might be a person who is an expert on infertile worms from Ecuador or something, right?